Can you tell us a bit more about your role as Inclusion and Diversity Officer?
Yep, sure. So I'm the Inclusion and Diversity Officer for the UK National Agency for Erasmus+. My role is to try and promote inclusion and diversity wherever we can. So we look to do that in our day-to-day work at the Erasmus+ National Agency, but also promoting to any potential applicants that might look to apply for Erasmus+, and also showcasing some of the good inclusion and diversity projects that we've had in the last 5 years now.
Why do we need to have an inclusion strategy for Erasmus+?
We've had an inclusion and diversity strategy in the previous programme, so in Youth in Action programme, and now we're looking to build that into Erasmus+. Originally, Erasmus+ was meant to be called Erasmus for All, and I think that's very apt because we want all of participants, organisations to be able to apply for funding under Erasmus+, no matter where they come from. It should be open to everyone. So the new inclusion and diversity strategy for the UK has been adapted specifically from Erasmus+'s own in youth, because we've tried to be more targeted towards some of our activities to try and engage more people and more organisations in Erasmus+.
So with this strategy, it covers all sectors of the programme?
Yes, that's right. So the Europe-wide inclusion and diversity strategy is more focused on youth, but what we want to do is try and focus on all the different fields and key actions within Erasmus+. So not just youth, but adult education, vocational education and training, higher education, schools, everything that's involved in Erasmus+. Across the key actions, but also in TCA, so transnational cooperation activities, getting people involved as much as possible.
Yeah, that's good to get it all fully covered, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's plenty of opportunities for everyone to be involved. It doesn't have to be a mobility, it doesn't have to be a big strategic partnership, it can just be one person going to learn more about the programme, like in TCA for example, and then getting further information to apply for different types of activities.
So looking at Erasmus Plus generally, why is inclusion important?
Like I've said before, really, is trying to get as many people involved as possible. Statistically, we had about 24% of participants in the old Youth in Action programme, and 24% of participants with young people with fewer opportunities, that is. But for Erasmus Plus, this is raised to about 36% in the UK, with around 20,000 people involved in Key Action 1 Youth between 2014 and 2018 with fewer opportunities, which works out about 49%, so we're certainly raising that percentage as much as we can.
That's good. What are some of the barriers or issues that those with fewer opportunities face?
Yeah, so within our inclusion and diversity strategy, we've tried to define some of those different types as best as we can, so that we can try and highlight them throughout the years and the projects that are involved in those. So there's certainly disability barriers, accessibility, discrimination, but also economic and geographical obstacles, which perhaps we don't see as much. And then of course there's some wider issues, wider obstacles that people have to deal with, such as migration.
Going back to the inclusion strategy and looking forward to the year ahead, what are some of the activities that the Erasmus Plus UK team are planning to hold throughout the year?
Yeah, we've got plenty of case studies on our website because we're really looking to promote as many different projects as possible. And we've also introduced a hashtag of Inspiring Inclusion, which has been running for the last 2 months and starting to gain a bit of traction. Hopefully everyone can start using that where possible, because we like to have one place to store all of the special projects that we've run in the last few years and started to showcase. But outside of promoting, we're also doing a lot of support for organisations that want to involve young people with fewer opportunities.
Looking at it, inclusion more kind of personally, what does inclusion mean to you?
I think perhaps getting everyone involved as much as possible. Offering the opportunities to every person, but no matter what their circumstances are or their barriers, making sure that all of the options available in Erasmus Plus are available for everyone. I think that's the most important thing.
And how does inclusion and diversity positively impact society?
We've got an excellent quote which I think sums up that quite well. So as part of the Key Action 2 project focused on social inclusion and diversity, one of the participants said they were able to promote integration, challenge myths about migrants and support learners to have an active role in challenging racism and discrimination at all levels in society. I think that's a perfect quote for some of the good work that's happened so far in Erasmus+.
Definitely. Sounds a nice kind of final point.
Yeah, perfect way.
To launch it on inclusion.
Good.
So, brilliant, thank you. Thank
No
you
problem.
for your time.